Concerto for Folded Space is an artist share fan-funded project that is programmatically informed by a science fiction book that I wrote called The Dover Stone. It's a huge cinematic type canvas that I'm writing for. It's kind of influenced by some of my favorite people of that genre, Hans Zimmer, Michael Giacchino, people like that I really enjoy. So it's that kind of atmosphere mixed in with some of my favorite textures, modern jazz, heavy metal, rock of all different types, funk, and symphonic forms. So it's quite a mixed bag that I think you'll really enjoy. I've always loved science fiction, so much so that I decided I would write a book myself and then let that inspire the music programmatically, trying to inform aspects of the music such as emotion and find a texture for that, something that represents the characters in each story. And in the book, The Dover Stone, there are 10 different stories that are interrelated, although they are all standalone, not unlike the concerto itself, which is 10 different movements that all have themes that work together, but they all stand alone. With all of this then, my goal with the project was to get this music to represent the feelings of the characters and the textures of each story in the book itself. The grand arc of each are very comparable, and I hope that you will hear the relation of both of those different genres. I'm very thrilled on this project to be working with an incredibly talented collection of musicians that are also my very good friends. The band, the core group that I'm using on this project is called the Eclectric Band, which is exactly that. It's eclectic and it's electric, and so you squeeze it together, you get eclectric. And it's made up of some wonderful, wonderful people. On drums, my favorite drummer on the planet, really. His name is Stockton Helbing, and he brings so much to the table. His grooves are incredible. He has a brilliant mind that translates unbelievably complex ideas into very, very infectious grooves and beats with the drums. And he likes to say that he plays drums and cymbals. And when you listen to him play, I think you will agree. Stockton Helbing is just one of the best there is. My man Stockton, double China, boy! Along with his creative input on the project, I also have in this group a phenomenal flute player, an extraordinary flautist named Daniel Pardo. Daniel is also a great engineer, and he was given the task of putting together all these different recordings that we tracked in multiple countries, many different cities, all over the place. And he herded them all together in a wonderfully expert way that has really had some cool results. As far as playing flute, he offers the entire flute family to the project. And of course, when you think heavy metal and cinematic grandiose projects, you think the flute family, don't you? Well, you will after hearing Daniel Pardo and what he brings to this. We also have two great guitarists. I'll start with Noel Johnston, an incredible guitarist, one of the best sounds that I've ever heard on guitar. And his time feel is just spectacular. And he brought so much to this project, and it was great fun to write for him. Also on guitar, we have Ryan Davidson, somebody who I call Commander Texture, because of the fact that he can manipulate the guitar, the basic sound of the instrument, and using an array of pedals that both him and Noel have at their command to produce some sounds that you can't even believe it is a guitar. But on top of all of that, both of them have a wonderful ability to groove in a very, very infectious way. And then on bass, the marvelous Braylon Lacey, who can play many different styles, is in huge demand as a bass player in all kinds of different groups. And I'm thrilled to have him on this project. He lays down some of the strongest foundational funky lines that you're ever going to hear. And I can't wait for you to check him out on this. Also throughout the project, you'll hear in the foreground and the background an amazing group of trombones, a trombone quartet that's making a lot of news these days called the Maniacal Four, known for their great ability to cross genres, classical to jazz and everything in between. And they sound so very good on this project, and I've added along with them one more trombonist, so it's actually a quintet. I call it the Maniacal 4+1 because of John Gower on bass trombone. And the M4 themselves are Carl Lundgren, Nick Laufer, Alex Dubroff, and Matt Jefferson. And they sound really, really wonderful and give the project that cinematic kind of edge that it needs. And then there's the guest artists, and this list of people is a dream come true. I'll start with jazz pianist extraordinaire Arlington Jones, who bases himself in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. He's simply one of my favorite jazz piano players on the scene today. He has such a wide range of styles and history that you can hear in his playing, but it all kind of assimilates and comes out with his own vibe, which is wonderful to hear, and he's on a couple of pieces on this project. Also, my great friend, the woodwinds virtuoso and Grammy-winning composer Bob Mintzer is on this project. He'll be featured on tenor saxophone as well as bass clarinet, the unheralded jazz instrument that Bob is simply a virtuoso at playing. And can't wait for you to hear him in both those settings, and just thrilled to have him on this project. And I'm about as excited as possible to include three of the members of my very favorite band, the supergroup Chicago. I've been a student of their music my whole career. Some of the earliest things that I ever transcribed in my first attempts to learn to write music were pieces by the rock group Chicago, a famous rock group with horns. So three of the guys from the group are on this project. I'll start with the metaphysically great guitarist Keith Howland. Oh man, what an amazing guitarist he is. He has a sound that will just scare you to death. And in fact, he brings to life the creature, the enigmatic creature that I call Evol. And you'll hear just how he does that, and I think he does an amazing job with that. His pocket is incredibly deep, his time feel is unbelievable, and I think you really enjoy what he's brought to the table. Along with Keith, we also have a person who I describe as having the miracle voice, and that is Jason Sheff, who is the lead singer with the group Chicago. Sings all those impossibly high notes that you hear with the group. And he sings on a piece called Step Aside on this project. And he brought such a heartbreaking, beautiful quality to that tune that just really set the whole thing, set the stage for the whole thing. So Jason, I've admired his talent for so long. He's a great composer, bass player, as well as, you'll hear, spectacular vocalist. And then there is my man, my hero, every trombonist's hero really, is Jimmy Pankow, the irrepressible Jimmy Pankow. Who doesn't love a rock and roll trombone star? And that's Jimmy. He's really quite possibly the reason that I started playing the horn in the first place. And to have a chance to perform with him, to record this project and to have him on my project is an experience that was to a level that really it felt surreal. And it was a joyful experience. And his playing is spectacular, it's inspirational, and I think you'll enjoy it. I can only imagine as much as I did getting a chance to work with him. And then to top everything off, there is a gentleman who I simply will not do a recording without, and that is Phil Bulla of Platinum Productions in New York. And I've done all my recordings with him. I think he's simply the best engineer on the planet. And he has taken all this music that Daniel Pardo painstakingly edited and recorded and tracked, and he's mixed it up at Platinum Productions and really polished it to a level that is so exciting and really makes the whole project come alive. Being a part of the Artist Share experience and getting to work with Brian Camilio and everybody involved there at Artist Share has been wonderful. I especially have enjoyed the interaction with the participants who are a part of an important part, an integral part of the Artist Share experience. I thank you all for participating, and I look forward to a lot more activities here in the future as we go forward with this project and following projects. So I thank Artist Share for their support and making all of this possible. Well, you'll have to double check this with Neil deGrasse Tyson, but I don't think we really have these days access to Planck energy, certainly not enough to actually fold the fabric of space and time. But if we did, wouldn't that be a cool thing? And you know, when it gets to science fiction in general, the thing I like about science fiction is its positive message, and that is most of science fiction has to do with the future, and the fact that we will indeed, as a species, have a future. And that's a pretty cool thing in the final analysis. So even though we can't fold space right now, we can write about it. And I've done just that. And with this team of incredible musicians put together, I think we really have made something special that I really look forward to sharing with you as we all enjoy Concerto for Folded Space. Thanks a lot.
Hey, Noel Johnston here. I played guitar on Concerto for Folded Space. I have to tell you, that stuff was nuts. Some of the most nuts stuff I've ever had to play. Steve Wiest, you are nuts. Everybody, you need to hear this stuff. It's crazy. Some of the most challenging stuff I've ever had to play, there's just so many notes. It's like he sneezed on the page. Hachoo! And then just filled it in with black dots and some random accidentals, and it turned out amazing. Yeah, so like, listen to the best sneeze music you've ever heard. All right?
Stockton Helbing here, and I just wanted to encourage you all to check out the brand new album from my good friend, trombonist and composer extraordinaire Steve Wiest. I think it's a really interesting project, innovative project, and unique project. And I had a blast working on it. I have a blast whenever I'm hanging out with Steve, but we had a great time working on the music for this record, and there is just an outstanding cast of musicians participating, and I'm honored to be a part of it, and I'm really excited for Steve to share this with the world. So I really encourage all of you to check it out, and I hope you have a great time and a wild ride listening to it. See ya.
Hey Steve, how's it going? Well, recording for the Concerto for Folded Space was a tremendous experience for me. We had very long hours of work, but it was so rewarding because every time we added a new instrument, a new layer, it was just magical, and it always brought a smile to our faces to hear the new elements in the music. All the writing it goes so well with the book that the stories are coming from, and I really want to encourage anyone to read the book and then listen to the music, because then it's when everything makes sense.
Hi, I'm Ryan Davidson. I'm one of the guitarists on Steve Wiest's epic programmatic work, Concerto for Folded Space. When Steve first contacted me about doing this project, he told me his vision and the epic scope of the project and the amazing musicians that were going to be on it. I knew I had to do it. Please go to Artist Share or Amazon and get it. It's worth it. You won't be disappointed. Thank you.
Hey, this is Bob Mincer, and I'm here to tell you that I was a participant in the Steve Wiest project, Concerto for Folded Space, that will be distributed on Artist Share, and I urge you all to go and check this wonderful body of music and concept out. It is based on a sci-fi story that Steve has conceived, and the whole project is off the hook. It's really great. I think you'll enjoy it very much.
Well, we're here at Platinum Productions mixing Flutes of Glastonbury, an incredible piece, one of the pieces on this album. This has been an incredible experience working on this project. Very challenging mixes, take a long time because of the diverse overdubs, everything that's happening. So my congratulations to Steve on this incredible endeavor. Can't wait for the world to hear what we have created.
Hey Steve, how you doing? It's Jimmy Panko and Jason Sheff, Keith Holland, We just want to say hello. We're on the road. Chicago is slamming, and we all had a real blast doing the record. Sessions were a lot of fun. Just wanted to say hello. Sell 1 million of them, buddy. It was great.
Yeah, man, loads of fun. I had a great time.
Careful what you ask for. You might just be enlisted to do something really tough, like what you brought us into. But I'll tell you what, it was a blast. Very challenging, and an honor to be a part of it, buddy.
Awesome.
Thank you.